So thank you so much for joining me on the show today, and I'm gonna be talking about work and balance in the home. This is so important because apart from the fact that we as women we have the privilege to be anything we want to be, if we lose our home at the verge of doing everything we want to do with our career, whether it's whether it's career, whether it's business, whether it's ministry, whatever it is, if we lose sight of our homes, we have lost it. So it's very important that um we put that fact out there so a lot of persons know how to. I'm a love coach and a relationship enthusiast. It's something I love to do. I love to help people deal with their emotions as well as manage their relationships appropriately. So if you are a lover of relationship and if you want something good, probably you're married or you're about getting married, this is the right spot. How do we balance our marriages and our work? That's just to make it easy. All right. How do we balance work and marriage? The other day, someone called into the show, and one thing he was seriously, you know, complaining about was the fact that, oh, my wife works in a bakery. She leaves the house very early and she comes back very late, you know, left the children or leaves the children. And it was something that he wasn't happy about it. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of people are in that same boat where one party is working and the other party has to suffer, so to say, let me use the word suffer, you know, some privileges. They have to be the one to stay home, they have to cater for the kids, they have to cook the meals, they have to do everything. And when the other person comes back, it's like they feel entitled. They feel like I have gone to work, so you should do this XYZ, regardless of the sex. It might be the male or it might be the female. Anybody can be in any of those roles that has to go out or come in, you know. But one thing that I want you to achieve, or one thing I want to achieve with this conversation or with this talk tonight, is that at the end of it, you must understand the place of alignment. You must understand the place of, you know, communication, effective communication in ensuring that this part of your life is balanced to some extent, 50% balanced, 70% balanced. All right, that is that is an A. If you make 50, 60, 70, that's an A. Okay. So what is work and balance, or what is work and marriage balance? Anyhow you want to see it, anyhow whatever it means to you, it's important that there is, first of all, when two people come together that they want to get married, there are certain things that they should have as conversation. There are certain things that they should talk about, right? There are certain things that are priority. You must talk about these things, no matter how intoxicating the love is, the everything. You must spell it out. Your vision, what you're supposed to be doing with your life, what you're passionate about. You must be able to communicate those things, those dreams. Oh, I would one day love to. You might not be doing it at the time you get married, right? But you have plans that someday you're going to, if you have the means, you're going to travel for business, you're going to go to China, you're going to buy XYZ and start selling down here. So your partner knows. He starts it somewhere. She starts it somewhere that, oh, this man has plans to do this. Maybe there's no money to finance that dream right now, but he's going to do that anyways as the money comes. So, why this is important, so that people don't think that, oh, I met you as a teacher. We got married as, you being a teacher, me being a policeman or whatever, me being in the force or me being a pastor. And now that we are married, we have to stay the same way. I married you because you're a teacher. You never mentioned that at some point you're going to go into business. You never mentioned that at some point you're going to be traveling for weeks. You never mentioned that. So someone was saying some days ago, like, if my husband mistakenly answered the call, whether it's God that called him or it's his church that called him, if he mistakenly answer anything that looks like a ministerial call, I am so done with this marriage. Like I not do again. Or she was like, because I have never seen myself as a pastor's wife. I have never seen myself as a pastor's wife. And when she said that, we laughed about it, but she's making a point. Now, I'm not totally 100% in support of that because you're talking about something ministerial, something that includes God, like God is involved. God is the ultimate. A man might not know his next 20-year plan or his next 10-year plan, but God knows, right? But let's forget about how or what she said. But let's look at the part where, what if you entered into that marriage and at some point you know your work with God, right? You know how you have worked with Him or what your plans are, or that someday something affiliated to ministry will come into your life. For some persons, they've known since they were kids. They've known that there's some kind of grace, but whatever, they just treat like, no, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But there's a place for you to share your vulnerability. There's a place for you to share. That's before the marriage. So if you're not married and you're listening to me, beautiful. In fact, this is the best time for you to get yourself prepared for any of such kind of, conversations. Get yourself prepared. Probably you're dating someone right now. What are you discussing? What are you discussing? You must understand that there's a place for work and marriage balance. Okay? There's a place for that. Some persons don't have plans for their wives to even pick a pin. Say my wife's job is just to go to that office and just pick a pin. They don't have plans. As simple as that task is, they don't have any plans for their wife to do that. And most times it's usually like that for the women. Of course, I can't say that some women don't have plans for their husbands to work. No. But even some women don't have plans for their husbands to do certain kind of work. They have never envisaged that their husband will start doing a certain kind of job, maybe a demeaning job. It's going to so disgust them that they can't even look at him twice. Are you kidding me? No, no, no. This was not the plan that you're going to start pushing truck. Eh, Oga? When? How? You don't find all your work finished, see now to start pushing truck. They never envisage. So, what kind of conversations were you having? Life changes, things happen, economy changes. The economy of 10 years ago is not the same economy now. So, you cutting, you dating, try to picture the future, and in your conversations, ask questions like, what kind of thing can you never expect me to do? What kind of job? I want to streamline it to work and jobs, businesses, and all of that. What kind of thing, what kind of thing would you hear me do and it would disgust you? Just a conversation, not you didn't plan to quarrel in the conversation. No, it's just a gist. So in case they say the one that you don't want to hear, you still accept it like it's just a gist. That's the beautiful thing about having a conversation when there are no misunderstandings. Don't wait until there's a quarrel before you say, hey, let's talk. Please sit down, we have to talk. You're already boiling. The soup don't dey boil. Pop, 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 pop. You now say, sit down, let's talk, let's talk. This is what we must talk. You know that you're heading for a fight. If you carry out a conversation when you are at that level, your emotions are heightened, you are ready for a fight. So you come to that place where you ask yourself, okay, so let's have a conversation now that we are still fine. I just met you. We are 2 months in the relationship, we are 2 years in the relationship, and we've not had this conversation. Gloria just reminded us that this is very needful. Okay, let's talk about it. What kind of a business do you think that your husband, you would never like your husband to do? You will be shocked what your wife to be or the person you're dating will say. And the question should go back and forth. All right. So that's just for the singles. But if you're married and you've still not had this conversation, you've never had this conversation before, it's never too late. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now. All right. So have this conversation and be happy that you did. That you did or you are doing it right about now, so that everybody, we're going to be on the same page. If I tell you, oh, tomorrow I'm going to quit my job, I don't want to work here again in Crown FM, maybe I want to work somewhere, you say, no, no, you have worked in Crown FM for 6 years, I've always known you to work only. No, no, it shouldn't be. Okay, now apart from that conversation, there's something about when you find yourself in a desperate situation and you needed to take a job, as couples, husband and wife, una still where una dey, una still okay. The way it don't be so, I got to go work for bakery because with my qualification, in fact, I don't even get qualification. Now only here or any kind of work when look like this, now I go fit do. It must be something that the other person must also approve of. It's not a matter of one person just carrying himself, wear clothes, say after, and I mean one work the work, I mean one work the work. You wear your clothes, you go. If you like, make you not take care of the children. After all, food not cook my day. If food day before I for no, so as food, you give yourself, you are already telling yourself that the person does not have a choice. Your spouse does not have a choice because you want to go and work, and at the end of the month, you're going to bring a certain amount of money, whether it's 10,000, whether it's 9,500, whether it's 14,500 or 25. Yeah, there's always 500 naira. I don't know why 500 naira is always included in those kind of. Now, when you tell yourself that this is the work I want to go and do, and you are even angry doing it, and you think that you don't have anybody who will call you to ask you questions because this is your life, it is a no, no. It is a no, no. No matter what you want to do with yourself, you must understand the concept of marriage. A lot of persons don't understand this institution called marriage. A lot of persons don't understand that God is the founder of marriage. God is the originator. He is the one that says it is not good for a man to be alone. I'm going to make for him a helpmate. A helpmate suitable for him. No matter what you do in your home, you must always remember the original plan that God had in mind when He was creating you as the helpmate suitable for Him, bringing you into His life, bringing her into your life as a man. Okay? So when you have this understanding, then you sit down and you ask, Oga, how do we go about this? We have 5 children. One is already 16 years old. He can take care of the other younger ones, but he goes to school. So, how are we going to do this? Okay, there must be a plan. There must be a plan. One person cannot just stand up and leave the other children with the other person. And at the end of the day, when the money comes, only one person, the person work the money, chop the money. As you work out, you chop up. Tell yourself, say, after all, let me work out. Wait. Person no go, person no go even fit, person no go fit drink water drop cup. Now let me born children, now let me marry. I beg, make I chop the money when. Now there's nothing wrong in you having your personal money. I'm not even talking about finance today, but my emphasis is the place of understanding. And I always say that in communication, there is no communication. How you know you have communicated is when the other person have understood. So what a lot of people do in their marriages is that they just drop the information and they walk away. I don't get work. I will start tomorrow. Why the man they won't they sleep oh? Whether the woman they won't they sleep oh? When you talk the thing, oh, you think say in they awake. You don't hear. The other day I was sleeping and I was holding my phone. I was dozing off. I've dozed off. I was still holding my phone. So I can hold my phone like that and I'm even playing something in the phone. I was playing a video and I've dozed off. Then imagine that somebody just said something, thinking that I heard. Tomorrow I don't resume work. Oh, I don't resume work for one bakery tomorrow. Because after I don't tell her. Then tomorrow, true, you not dress up. And I say, where you they go? You say, what be you I tell yesterday say I don't resume work for bakery. You know, here when I beg, I don't late. I said, I'm there, so I don't late. I don't late, I beg. I no fit. No, I don't want to talk this morning. And you leave. For some people, that's how Glasgow starts. Like for real. They will fight before they will go the work when they go. You know, it's sad, but couples should begin to do better. Maya Angelou will say, when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. You act better. There is no need there is no need for a lot of fights. There's no need for a lot of quarrels. Life is too short. You know, I try to remind myself how brief life is. And I have a wonderful pastor who always reminds us of the brevity of life. So today I was just before I came to work, let me digress a little. My husband just told me, babe, look at our neighbor. He died day before yesterday. Like the neighbor next compound. He's an elderly man, but he's so strong. Like, you know, this kind of elderly kind of that wears 3/4 shorts and is so strong. So when I say so strong, I mean so strong. It's not a papa. It's a, you know, and I'm like, he died. This is someone who he's talking about his daughter needing to get into junior secondary school, blah blah blah. Is his daughter or his granddaughter? Needing to get into, he will go to the school, secure form for for the girl, 13 years. You know, he's following up like just a little sickness and that's it. And it's pained me so much, and it still pains me whenever I get to, I'm like, life is so, it reminds me of how short life is. It reminds me of the brevity of life. Even if you live up to 120 years, life is still short. I said, wow, so like this, I'm approaching 40. And I was telling someone, like, I don't get it. I don't understand. How did I get here? Wait, how did I get here? You know, but life is really, really short. I know my voice might sound like I'm 22, but don't worry, I'm not. And the truth of the matter is that you have just one life to live. Whoever you have married, thank God. Whatever you're doing for a living, thank God. All you have to be thinking about is how to make life better for yourself. How do I make life better? How do I create memories? How do I create fun memories for myself, my children, and the person I have married? Fun memories. Let me tell you something about children. You see, these children that we have, they are very sensitive. They know when their father don't love their mother. These children of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, they know when their father does not love their mother. They also know when their mother doesn't love their father. So they are watching you. When you're talking to their father anyhow, they are watching you. They might not say anything, but they are picking it. Okay. When there is joy and there is laughter in the house, they know. When someone is trying to start a conversation and the conversation will enter into some kind of chaotic, they know who starts that conversation because they don't like it. They don't like that chaotic. Children like to play, they like to jump, they want to. So when they started on that, because they are members of the family, so they know everything in and out. They know when one answer is going to turn into another thing, and when one person will get angry, and they know. So if you're a wise person, if you decide to love, if you don't decide to love your spouse, what you are likely saying is that your children will grow up. Sometimes they will hate you, especially when they have liked a particular. There's a wife and there's a husband, right? Sometimes the people who spend more time with these children are the ones that they tend to tilt towards. The people who spend more time with the children, if the wife is the one who spends more time with the children, and not just spending more time, you're spending more time and you're showing them love. It's two things. You can spend time by bathing them, by cleaning their shoes, by preparing them for school. They tend to bond more with that particular figure, whether it's the father or the mother. So if you are listening to me right now and you are saying in your heart, oh, I would love to spend time with my kids, but I don't have that time, let me tell you a secret. If you don't have that time, maybe you're the type that work, and it's not your fault. The economy right now says that we should have 10 jobs. It's not your fault. When you don't have so much time to spend, like the way the other person is spending, you must augment that time you don't have, you must transfer it into buying them something. You must transfer it into impacting them in such a way that, depending on their level, okay, especially buying them something, gifting them something, let them also feel your impact in their life, so that they know that, okay, it's balanced. That mommy is not around, but when she's coming back, we have hope for XYZ. Daddy is not around, but when he comes back, he's going to give me XYZ. You must balance your work and your marriage. When I mean your marriage, your family, you must balance it. So no dull moment for you to say, oh, I'm not around. He's the one that is now, and because of that, the children loves him or the children loves her. They don't look at me. And wives, you must learn to, for wives who have husbands that are not, the husbands are not around, and they have genuine reasons for not being around, you must learn to cover up for them. When the children are asking, now why is daddy not always, you must learn to cover daddy up. Oh, daddy loves you. Daddy sends money to buy you this. Daddy, even when he did not send money to buy them this, if you know that the love already is tilting towards your side as the woman, you must share the love. You must share the love. Marriage is not competition. Husband and wife should not see marriage as competition. Hey, now me the children love person. Now you know now sabi go so far. These children they're not going to look inside. They know a lot of women are dealing with their spouses negatively. They are really dealing with. You must learn to help your children share their love almost equally. Somebody needed to hear that. I'm sure somebody needed to hear that. So let's come back to balancing work and marriage. It requires intentional strategies, all right, to maintain a healthy work-life balance and prioritizing your relationship. It requires intention. You must be intentional about this. The Bible says, what shall it profit a man, right, if he gains the world and lose his soul? And I'm also going to say, what shall it profit a man or a woman if they gain the world and lose their family, lose their marriage, lose their marriage? What shall it profit you? So, you must learn to set clear boundaries, right? Establish a clear distinction between work and personal life to avoid conflict and burnout. A lot of times we are so burn out with our businesses. You don't go market, you don't carry gari, you don't travel, go this other market, you carry Congo meat. You come from here, you bring tico, you don't do all your kind of. By the time you reach out like this, you are sweating, you are tired, you are angry with your business, madam, that did not do XYZ, and you carry that same anger, you put it on the people that you are seeing in the house, as if they are the ones. You must learn to separate, set clear boundaries. Sometimes give yourself day off, and say, today I'm not going to work, especially when you work for yourself. Tell yourself that today I want to rest, or this particular day in the week is my resting day where I spend time with my family. For me, I made it Mondays. Mondays for me, I don't want to do anything work. So when I get home, I have other things I do outside radio, obviously. But I just tell myself on Mondays, I think I want to be sleeping. Not that I think, I am loving the fact that I took that decision. I just want to be at home and spend time with my husband. Please, you two try be at home. Of course, he loves to be at home on Monday. I know it's strange, right? Monday's like the first day of the week. But depending on your routine, depending on what you do, you can just tell yourself, please let me just sleep. There's nothing wrong in sleeping. So you must prioritize your family, your mental health. You must prioritize it. Okay? You must communicate effectively. You regularly discuss your schedule. Oh, babe, I'm going to have a meeting, or the meeting is going to make me travel. Not when that particular day don't reach, you can say, "Ah, but I tell you, say I get burial yesterday now." You say no.